there's one scary headline after another about AI. And Krista, I'm going to bring you in right away because you have significant fears that you have expressed to me about what we're facing with AI. Possibility somebody very easily steals your money. Somebody steals your identity in a whole new way. Somebody steals your job. In fact, Goldman Sachs put out a report recently that the latest wave of AI could affect, the effect was the word they used, 300 million jobs in the world. 300 million. And Elon Musk put out something saying, we need a deep freeze on anything with AI because of, quote, profound risk to society. And now there's an AI group saying that we need a government investigation of AI. There are even things, I read something just this week where someone predicted that the end of the human race was going to come from AI. And what I said is go watch Terminator movies and you'll feel right at home, because Terminator was about the machines destroying humanity and the machines fighting wars with other machines and all this stuff. And all very, very, very dark stuff. What's that word? Dystopian?
Dystopian.
Dystopian? Yeah, it is all dystopian kind of stuff. Okay. So does AI have a potential sinister side? Certainly in war. Absolutely. I mean, look what drones already, how they've been used in the war in Ukraine by both sides. And the ability of drones to do, very sophisticated ones, to do micro-targeting. So yes, any breakthrough in technology can be bad ugly. And there could be bad results. There also could be a lot of very good results. I think about in medicine, how AI already is playing a role in finding cancers that are missed by well-trained medical professionals looking at imaging. I mean, there are things that AI will be able to do that instead of costing lives is going to save lives. The job thing. We have a planning meeting once a week. And when we got to AI in that planning meeting, could it have been more animated, Krista?
I mean, it's an interesting discussion, I think. I mean, I wouldn't say I have fears over it, but I feel that I do believe there are going to be huge inevitable changes between this and, you've always made fun of me because when that movie Minority Report came out years ago, it predicted basically what's happening now, where people would be identified through their irises, your fingerprints, all those things. You'd walk into a store and knew exactly who you were, like all that was put together. And so then people would buy eyeballs from someone else on the black market and have surgery. I mean, all this kind of stuff. And you're hearing about people being killed now for their,
there's, if you're not aware, it's become a national story. NBC News recently did a big story on this. There's a criminal ring that was operating in the Northeast that was drugging people at bars, then using their face to unlock their iPhone and then steal their money. And then many of those people, the drugs that they had given them, killed them. Mm-hmm. Others just were out of it for a few hours or days. And several suspects have now been arrested. And so it ties right in with the Minority Report movie that people have lost their lives, so criminals could use their face to use the iPhone to then steal your money.
Yeah, and so I don't think we can stop any of this, but the Chat GPT, like the latest version of that, I think that's what that report was specifically saying. Like, yes, there are publishers suing them now because they have to it has to originally get information from other sources to create. Like, you can ask it to write you a book. You can ask it to paint you a picture, to draw you a house. I mean, it can do so much stuff. It's insane. And this is just the early days.
Right.
So can you imagine?
And let's take this. You take social media and AI together, and the falsehoods that can be spread, because they can now make anybody say anything.
Mm-hmm.
They can make anybody look like they committed a crime to create character assassination. There are so many things that are true that are bad that the combination of AI and social media can do. But at the same time, when a new technology occurs, our natural reaction is to go to the dangers of it. And the truth is, a breakthrough technology always has both. One of the examples I've seen come up over and over again with AI is nuclear power. That nuclear power has had very good aspects to it and obviously horrific, and potentially the end of human life as we know it because of nuclear weapons. And so technological breakthroughs are not one thing. They're not, by their very nature, automatically bad. You think about talking about drones. Drones are used in so many positive ways, in addition to be used as a war weapon. And the thing about this is, and the one that comes up more than anything else I need to address before we go to questions, is the job loss. I started with it, and I want to end with it. So you got Goldman Sachs saying 300 million jobs are going to be affected. What does that mean? Throughout modern times are considered to have started in 1830, so almost 200 years ago. We have had technological breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough, and every one of them has led to very wise people predicting widespread, massive unemployment and starvation. If you go back in American history to the very beginning of the 1800s, almost every American earned a living on the farm. And when the technological wave came a couple of decades into the 1800s, there were predictions that there would be this massive unemployment and starvation and homelessness because of the technologies that would eliminate the need for virtually every American to till in the fields. Till, whatever you'd call it, work in the fields.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't work out that way at all. The nature of work changed, and the nature of work will change again. And yes, there will always be jobs that are eliminated by waves of technology. Look at what the internet has done, where it eliminated entire categories of employment, but then did what? It created entire new categories of employment. One thing I joked about like 15 years ago is the term web developer. Before in 1995, people would have thought somebody was working with spiders if you said web developer. There was no such thing. And now it's a big area of employment. So the nature of work changes continually. A Canadian study found that 70% of jobs that will exist 20 years from now don't exist right now. So on the job front, there will be people who do something that will no longer exist. I tell the story of my son who's training to be a professional pilot. And he knows that before he would be of retirement age, that how you fly an aircraft, what we even fly in, will be completely different. And the job that he is training for, and it's a hard job to train for, will not exist 40 years down the road. So what's he going to do? He's going to go to a traditional college to study professional pilot, and he will get a second area of study. So he's prepared for the possibility that what he has trained for will not exist anymore. We have to continually think about what we do today and what we are going to need to learn how to do tomorrow. And I do have ideas about how we deal with the evil component that AI can lead to, but that's a conversation for another day.